Hey there, this is Rob. I wanted to go over Tick Bandit. I know a lot of you use it, a lot of you like it, you're having good results with it, but for everybody that's having any kind of difficulty, I just wanted to go through what you want to look at when you're using it, and I think it's going to prove helpful to you. So, when we're looking at what's going on, I typically look at a 4 tick chart. Now the 8 tick chart is useful as well, so let me drag that over real fast. Okay, so this is our 8 tick chart. I'll get rid of this little crosshair because people may not like it. Okay, the way that we always look at our charts is center channel, reversal band, right? So when we're overstretched, we expect first for price to come back to the 4 tick support. So this is an 8 tick chart. So they come back to the 4, they bounce, they don't give us a fresh high. For us, that means that the trend is in jeopardy of dying out. In this case, it was an uptrend prior to that where you're putting in a series of higher highs. So that means that you have a trend. And when you don't put in a higher high, that means that the strength was not there to take out the swing high, so your trend is dying out. But what that also gives you is head and shoulders, right? So it's a pretty common thing for people to look at, and a lot of people like it. But head and shoulders floating in space is no good to us. So what we want to look for is, in this case, price retraces, right? So you get a divergence signal. Divergence signal off of support. Sounds great, but we always want to look at what's going on with targeter first, right? And your 8 tick chart is wonderful, but it's not necessarily your trading chart. It's for seeing what's going on with the market, where they're headed, and all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so the straightforward look at what's going on is this is all long, but why isn't it long here? Like, what's going on here? Why do we have to wait until over here with this midline cross? Because we touched the midline a couple of times. All right, so this is 9:30, so we know what 9:30 is. It's U.S. market open. So let's have a look at the 4 tick real fast. Okay, this is your 4 tick. You see what's happening at 9:30, right? We're coming off a reversal band on the 4, and that's why the 4 tick. It definitely can be your trading chart. Um, the 8 tick I think is a little bit too big, but that's where you get your big 80 and 100 tick moves and all that kind of fun stuff. But your 4 tick, you can see you're coming off the reversal band. You come off the reversal band back to your center channel, there's typically going to be a response away from that, right? So that happens a couple of times. You're talking about this in the room today. And then what happens here? Well, we have a push short that does not give us a fresh low, right? So then in this case, these points that we're looking at, this is a reverse head and shoulders, right? And that just is gearing up for a push to the upside. Now inherently we would know that this look is great for a push to the long side. Now they push to the upside, so we have our targeter. Our targeter tells us, hey, it's the end of the move, by the way. And we happen to get a divergence signal short. So when we're looking at that, the price area we're going to look at is what, about 56.92. I've got my crosshairs off, so about 56.92. However, targeter tells us, well, this is actually the end of the move, right? Is down here. So that's great. This right here is about 120 tick move, so this one is monstrous. It's definitely in the neighborhood of nearly 200 tick move. And targeter keeps up with it, but just eyeballing things, we want to at least expect price to get back to this center channel. And then this is all long, right? And then this is all short into support. And then what's this? This is all long. So the reason that we're looking at this and what we look at on the 4 tick is that Tick Bandit, short, long, short, all long. And now what's this? This is a divergent signal off of the reversal band. And where does that go to? It goes to the 4 tick. They bounce and then they don't give you a fresh high, and that's that head and shoulders look that we're talking about. And then we end up back here at 5,700. So this is where price wants to get to. They can overshoot it. This was some decent movement, but what ended up happening was when we were looking at the other markets, EMD and YM, they had a very tight morning, right? And so you're going to expect, YM typically will do some sort of move. EMD certainly wants to do a move. So what did they do? They had a very tight morning, and then once the Nasdaq was up here at the reversal band, they said, well, you know, we haven't been to a reversal band. So they took the opportunity to dip down to this reversal band while the Nasdaq was pushing into their short. But the Nasdaq was into their short when EMD had hardly gotten started, and EMD wanted to continue to hit that reversal band. They said, you know, I barely even got up there yesterday, so I'd like to see a reversal band today, you know, cabin fever, whatever. So they got down to the reversal band and then boom, right back. So this is your 100 tick move. This is the move we don't know necessarily, is the move away from the channel. The move back to the channel, the move back to the channel. That's the easy stuff, right? So YM, you see, you know, they didn't get to do anything fun yesterday. You know, Friday, yes, they did come off of this divergence signal. We couldn't get a diver scout signal because we needed to be a few ticks lower. But however, we would know with this push, this is actually a long, right? So this is all long. If you were trading Tick Bandit, you'd be looking for longs back until you hit the center channel. So the center channel, that's where you want price to get back to, or where you expect price to get back to. And yes, they can overshoot things. That's fine. But as far as, you know, this is very helpful to at least identify distance that you're pretty certain that they're going to get back to. You know, there's going to be a reaction at the 4 tick. That would probably be some of this action, and then they finish out the move. So getting back to the Nasdaq, we just are aware that everything short is fine, everything long is fine, and then of course this is all longs. We're looking for longs here. Now your 4 tick is going to show us a smaller version of all that, so that big push to the upside. All of this is this move in here, and then you can see we had a divergence signal across down, brought us back to where familiar upper blue band, right? And then we get this higher high, and then they come back to the channel again, and now they're in a bounce phase. So this is all long looking to us because your 4 tick is long. So when we have our move to the upside, we want to be looking for the longs, right? This is all Tick Bandit. So Tick Bandit's going to give you an alert with the printing of the first candle only, I'm sorry, the first arrow only, because we don't want ding, 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 ding. You know, we don't want every single arrow being a notification for us. So when we get into this overstretched business, like we talk about in the room, we go, oh, we got a cross against on targeter. So now it's time to start looking for your shorts. And even in this case, this is a 4 tick chart. So they're going to bounce off of the 2 tick, right? A little bit, and then they finished out the move. And so once we're back here, we don't want to look for shorts anymore once you're back. So now you can see everything is flipped long. Okay, so when we're looking at this, right, when we have this pullback here, we know that we're into support. So that's why this isn't really of much interest to us. We want the long, right, the long away. And this kind of little double bottom thing, when you see this pullback to the support level, that's not a short to us. We're looking for the long, because now we have a very obvious double bottom, right? This test here, this test here. The second test is with a crossed up targeter, and bid ask is already cycled up. So we know that this is actually a long. So these are the ones that we want to train ourselves to look for, right? So when everything is short, then we've got the shorts, and they're of interest to us until you're at support. Once you're at support, it is not of interest to us anymore. Same thing with the earlier bit, right? So we've got, this is all short on targeter, right? Back to a point where it makes sense. So these kinds of shorts here, and then you're into support. So this is your support area right in here, and all this is a changing of the guards. It is your sellers have brought things back to support, and there's been buyers that have been waiting since over here, 130, right? So they don't get triggered until a couple hours later, because they've been waiting it out. And they say, well, I buy in here, right? This is where I buy. And so, but it's only I don't just buy willy-nilly if price has been sitting in my channel. I want price to get away from me, and then I'm interested. Now, whether you consider that a fib or whatever you want to do, that's fine, but this is what's going on, right? This is a better visual. And so when price comes back, buyers become interested. When they put in a fresh high, that means once again we can expect a reaction. We don't know, will we get a fresh high? That's the thing that we don't know. But what we do want to understand is that when you put in the fresh high, price comes back to the channel. That's an easy bounce. And so those are the things that we want to train our eyes to look for. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in the video. Remember, all of this is short. We look at our 4-tick. You can take shorts based on Tick Bandit. This is not a short because targeter is not in agreement. So then when the long is the easy bit, right? So you've got these longs. And then in the short, well, they're stalling out where you'd expect. So we really want the long. The nice easy long, you know, price came up, ran into some divergence, ran into some divergence, ran into divergence. Divergence is a very good signal as long as you have targeter agreement. Like this, you could poo-poo it, but here's your targeter agreement is your cross, and it still works out, right? It's the targeter agreement that you need to have that makes it of interest, right? So as long as targeter is short, you can easily make a target just on Tick Bandit, right? As far as this and a fresh high, you know, are they going to head and shoulders, or are they just going to do a divergent signal? We don't know, but there's a lot of different things that you can use, but our basics are always going to be targeter. And remember that 4-tick is a really good chart to have as backup for everything that Tick Bandit's showing you. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a good one.